one verse particularly spoke to me this morning. It's in Psalm 31, and it's verse 15. And in verse 15, it says, "My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from those who persecute me." So, the word that I got out of this was, uh, that, or that came to mind, I should say, is recognize. David recognized that God was in complete control of his life, both physically and spiritually. And because of that recognition, David was never afraid or ashamed to ask God for help to get him out of any situation that he may have been in. I mean, let's face it, King David had a lot of enemies. Um, he was all in for God. Um, and then part of his problems arose because of his sin, in particular, his sin to uh, with Bathsheba, because that whole situation um, caused so much to happen as a result of his sin. God forgave him of that sin, which he took another man's woman, got her pregnant, tried to hide it. When he couldn't hide it, he had the man killed by sending him to the front lines and telling his captain of the guard that as you approach the fortress, I think it was, you know, back up and let him lead the charge alone, pretty much, and to assure that the man would die. You know, that sin caused him to lose that child. Um, from there on after, he had family problems at the yin yang. He had uh, sons that tried to take over, you know, try to kill him to take over the kingdom. He never got to see peace. He was always on the run. I mean, but despite all that, David recognized that the reason for all what he was going through and his problems was his own doing. But he knew God would get him out of it because he trusted in God. Now, time wise, though, this psalm might have happened when Saul was actually gunning to kill him. Um, uh, but I'm not quite entirely sure on the timing of when he wrote the psalm. I just know that David recognized that his life was not his own. His life was completely in control by God. Hence, my times are in your hand. He recognized God's sovereign rule over him, and as a result of that, he wasn't afraid to ask for help um, from protection from enemies, and I would even say probably from protection from himself um, in some instances. Um, but we all need to have that kind of trust in God to where we can just go to Him no matter what, because He sees everything that we do. He's well aware of our situation. He is well in control of the situation. What we need to we need to be like David. We need to recognize that he is in control and that we're here for a reason, for his reason, um, and we not and we don't and we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help when we're in trouble. Um, whether it's if it's to the extreme of somebody wanting to take you out for real, or you know, or hurt you, reputation wise, or whatever it is. We just need to make sure that we're not afraid to ask for God for help, but that we're not ashamed to ask for help from God. Because that was one thing that David was not. He was never ashamed of God in any sense of the form. But yeah. And I know pride will get in the way so much of us not seeking God's help. And it also keeps us from recognizing that we're not in control. Or, sorry, I mean, it. Our pride will also keep us from recognizing that God is in control and falsely make us think that we're in control. There. That's what I was trying to say. Got it a little bit muddled there. But anyways, guys, just bottom line is we need to be like David. We need to recognize that everything is in God's hands, not our own, and we need not be afraid to ask for help from everything that is going on against us. We just need to stay strong in His word. With that, guys, I love you. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.